Hi, my name is Cindy Carlisle, and I'm the new church board chair for this year. And I would like to take you all along on a 52-week Bible reading. I'm doing a book written by Dr. Kimberly D. Moore, 52 Weeks, a year-long Bible study. This week, there's nothing too hard for God, and our daily readings are from Genesis 1 through Genesis 21. You have 6 days to read that in. The seventh day is a catch-up, so if you don't get anything done during the week. My purpose is to encourage you today while you focus on the needs of those around you. Remember that God has not forgotten about you. He hears your prayers and remembers your heart's desires and struggles. He posed a question to Abraham in Genesis 18:14. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? And the answer is that there is absolutely nothing too hard for God. Ephesians 3:20 says that God is able to exceedingly abundantly above all that we ask or think according to the power that works in us. There's nothing you could think of or ask that God cannot do. In the story of Sarah and Abraham, God told Abraham that he would make him a great nation. For him, all of the families of the earth would be blessed. That's in Genesis 12:2-3. This promise probably didn't make sense to Abraham at the time because he and Sarah had no children. And well into their senior years, they thought they were too old. In chapter 16, Sarah still hadn't had a child, so she took matters into her own hands and decided that Abraham should sleep with his maid, Hagar. Abraham and Hagar had a son named Ishmael. God allowed it, but he did not ordain it. You must be mindful that when it comes to the promise of God, you shouldn't take matters into your own hands. In chapter 18, God made Abraham and Sarah a specific promise, one that didn't make sense. The odds were against them because of their age. Abraham was 100 and Sarah was 90 years old. By this time, it had been 13 years since God had made his original promise in chapter 12, and they had seen no signs of their earlier promise. What do you do when you've waited so long and somebody's telling you that the impossible is still possible? What do you do when the promise just doesn't make sense? You've got to decide in your heart not to give in to the doubt. I know that's easier said than done. I've had to learn the very hard way that doubting hinders the progress to your promise, paralyzes you, and keeps you stagnant. It makes you want to take control rather than trust God with your life. However, when you replace doubt with faith, you give God something to work with. It's easy to be skeptical when the odds are against you, but I encourage you to trust God, to keep his word. When you place your doubt with faith, trust that God will do his part and release the blessing. You have to believe that there is absolutely nothing too hard for God to do. So, points to ponder while you're reading your chapters this week. 1. When you were faced with the impossibilities, how did you handle it? After this lesson, how will you handle those possibilities going forward? 2. What has this lesson taught you about your faith? 3. What areas have you discovered where you are strong in faith? What areas have you discovered where your faith needs to be strengthened? And 4. After this lesson, what are some of the possibilities that you will commit to prayer? And actions for you to do this week. Decide in your heart to think and speak positively, replacing negative words with positive ones. 2. Make a commitment to yourself to intentionally respond to your doubts with declarations of faith. And 3. At the end of the week, note how speaking positively into your life has begun to have a good impact on your outlook and ability to trust God. Thank you.